To Math 109 at Indiana Wesleyan University. My name is Deborah Brown and I am your instructor for this course. Today I'm going to start with workshop 1 to try to help you kind of guide you through how to start and any questions that you may have. First of all, if you notice, I did an announcement for you that gives you all of the details as far as the due dates, quality working guidelines, and other things that you may need to know. I do offer a virtual meeting once every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. This is the typical time that I meet, that I set aside to make sure that I meet each week. I do send an email, and if there's no interest the following day, then I won't get online. But if there is interest, I will get online. So you just have to make sure that you RSVP to my email so that I know to set aside that time. Now, if there's other times that you need me to meet you online, I definitely can do it by appointment if that time doesn't work for you or if you need an additional time. The reason I choose Saturday is because your first post is due by Friday night. So if you've had questions or if you're not sure if you got them correct, then you can go ahead and contact me and get online with me on Saturday. And then I give you the last Saturday, Sunday, Monday to be able to finish some of your homework if you're having trouble with it. So it gives you a chance to kind of start your work. Also, what I also do is I post for you the answers to your discussions, the ones that have actual right or wrong answers. Some of them, of course, are subjective. But ones that have right or wrong answers, I have posted, and you actually can view those once you have submitted your answer, and that will give you a little bit of feedback right away. So as soon as you see that, you'll be able to have feedback directly on your assignment to make sure that you got it right. If you did not get it right or partially right, then you need to make sure you go ahead and just comment on your own and then correct the parts that you did not get right. As you can see, missing assignments and emergencies, what I have done for this is particular. If you just go ahead and email me, give me documentation. I know we have unforeseen events, deaths in the family, emergencies as far as medical emergencies, personal or close family members having to take care of them. Just send me an email documentation that shows your loved one or you were in the hospital or something, and so then I can extend your due dates without penalty. You definitely are welcome to work ahead. However, the only thing I don't want you to do is work ahead on the discussion post, since it is a discussion. If you have them already posted 4 weeks ahead of time, then you'll not be part of the discussion. So if you want to work ahead and do the work, that's fine. Like I would suggest you do it on a Word document or something like that, and then you can just save it. But post it during the week of the workshop itself. Our homework, which I'm going to show you just in a second, is on Math Lab, and it's My Math Lab is what it's called. It's it's a online form by Pearson. It's very, very good and very helpful, and I will show you kind of how to use that in just a moment. Your textbook is also on Math Lab. There's an online textbook, and I'll show you how to use that in just a moment as well. Plagiarism, we have the software called Turnitin, and plagiarism is considered any prior work that has been submitted, even if it's your own work. So just be aware of that. It does flag it if you used the same paper for another class before, either this class or another class. It does flag it as plagiarism. So make sure your work is original to this class. Make sure that you're positive with each other, and you know, it's okay to call someone out on a wrong answer. Just be polite about it and show it with dignity. I will say sometimes it says your response has to have 200 words or 150 words or different specific word counts. I don't count the words. You can just tell if it has a well thought out response. If it's a well thought out response, then you'll get full credit. If it's not, if it's like, hey, good job, and that's all you wrote, then you're not going to get full credit. If you have prayer requests, I need to update this, it looks like, because I have 4 children, 2 home, 2 away at school. Mine are 2, almost all 4 of them are home right now. They're kind of in and out. So anyway, but we do have family dinners still, and we pray together. And I would love to pray for you guys, because ultimately, I love that I'm able to help you through school and be able to help you over this hurdle of mathematics to be able to get to whatever your goal is to be taking this class. But ultimately, we need Jesus and his love and being able to encourage each other in Christ, because that's a bigger picture for us. Okay, let me go ahead and jump to workshop 1. So course menu, I'm sure you all are aware of how to reach to it. And then I'm going to go to workshop 1. I apologize. First of all, before I hit workshop 1, let me go ahead and go to my math lab. So if you notice, it's bottom underneath workshop 6, and that's where your e-text is. So let's check out your e-text real fast. So your e-text, you can see, is an interactive text. Mine's going to be coming up shortly. And you can see it says continue an app. You can do an app, or you can, and then you can see that it's an interactive lecture series. And so you can click these different topics and it will show you, if you click the play button, it's going to play different videos for you. And it's really very
Hey everyone,
helpful.
welcome back. So earlier in this course, we learned how to
see.
plot and solve a
Yeah, so it's really nice. You're having a built-in instructor right here for each of the topics. So it's super helpful. And you can see, actually, that's how your first assignment's going to be. So I'm going to go back to my course menu. So, and let's look at workshop 1. And you can see the first workshop is showing you the chapter video 1 notebook. And if you watch the first video, it'll tell you exactly where they are, where the 1.1 pause and play, and it has just a fill in the blank notes for you. And this is super, super helpful to be able to be successful. So make sure you do that. So that's on workshop 1. And then Jesus Feed the 5,000. So this one here is a subjective homework where I'm not going to be counting it right or wrong. I'm just going to be counting it if you post it on time, if it's well thought out, and if you have 2 interactions by the deadline. Of course, the posting is due on Friday, and the deadlines for interacting is due the following Monday night. And then you can see the rubric, you can see the associated rubric, and you can see that it just says that they're on time, and you had 2 follow-up responses. That's all I'm looking for on here. All right, so let's look at the next part for the discussion for expression and equations. So this one is also a discussion, and so for this discussion, let's go ahead and look at the actual assignment. It says, first of all, review the rubric, and you can see the rubric. Let's look at the rubric before we look at the assignment. First of all, it has to be on time. It has to contain all the requirements. The follow-up has good evidence of clear critical thinking. So that's the last 2, and that you do 2 of those. So that's all the rubric is that you do it right and do it on time, and it's well thought out. So let's go ahead and look at what you're supposed to be doing. So if you check out number 2 is where I'm reading here. Navigate to the discussion page and respond to the following. Based on your understanding of the text, in your own words, describe the difference and similarities between an algebraic expression and an equation. And so I'm just going to give you kind of an answer on this, and then you can formulate your own words from it and look at the text. But an expression doesn't have an equal sign. The equal sign is what makes it an equation. Each side of the equation is called the expression itself. So you're going to go ahead and continue on that. But what you would do is just write it out. And you would then upload it. Now you'll notice when you upload it, I have an answer, which is not the answer for something like this, because you can show lots of examples of expressions and equations. But then that will kind of give you an idea of if you're getting it right or wrong. If you see any part that's wrong, please go ahead and comment on your own, and then you will correct yours. Okay, so that's workshop 1. And then after you're finished with that, you're going to go to my math lab orientation. And the orientation is just honestly to help you know all of the different things, which I'm just going to kind of give you a little orientation myself. So if you start it, you can see it has all the things, but I want to show you the difference of these little helps at the bottom. So help me solve this and view an example. So notice the problem itself. It says, let's go to question 2 where I have to fill something in. Okay, so you see the different smiley face, weird faces, and it doesn't have a help me solve. Okay, so this one has just an ask my instructor in the bottom left. This one here had the help me solve. So let's go to another one that has all of these. So all of these have the ask my instructor. So on your homework though, you'll have all of these problems. And so if I hit help me solve, it's going to tell you how you're going to solve part of this problem, and it tells you what you're supposed to do. But what help me solve does is help me solve actually resets the problem, because it's helping you solve the exact problem. However, view an example This one helps you solve a similar problem. So if you're halfway down on a problem and you get stuck, hit view an example, and it will actually help you solve the problem. Now, let me tell you when you want to use Help Me Solve. Let me get out of orientation and actually get into one of our actual problems. Let's go to a different homework because this one is going to show. So let's get out of here. Give me 1 second and let me get into our actual homework. The orientation doesn't have a lot of the helps because you don't need the helps. It's just click this, click this, click this. So let's go into actually your first homework. Okay, so continue a new window. There are 60 questions for each homework, so that's a lot of questions. So now this is not like Alex, if you've done Alex. If there are 60 questions, period, finish, done. With Alex, it looked like there's 30 questions, but if you get it wrong, there's 5 more questions. You get it wrong, there's 5 more questions there. This is 60 questions, and then you're done with this assignment. But let me go ahead and show you how this is going to navigate. Okay, so for this one, says insert a less than, greater than, or an equal to in this appropriate statement. Let's say I don't know how to do this, so I'm going to hit Help Me Solve. Now, if I hit Help Me Solve, and then it shows me how to do this, and because it's solving the exact problem that I'm doing, and you say, okay, well, that's going to be to the left, and I'm going to go, okay, and continue, and it continues to help me solve until I'm finished. But watch this. When I go back out, the problem changed because it just solved the exact problem for me. So if I hit view an example, you can see it gives me a similar example, and I continue and I say, okay, this is to the left, and it's helping me. It's viewing an example because it's giving me an example. When I click off of it, notice it does not reset it. It's the same problem that I was just viewing before I hit view an example. Now, the advantage of Help Me Solve versus view an example, when do you want to use it? Sometimes you have A, B, C, D, and these homeworks are unlimited. And so if I got, let's say, part A correct and then part B wrong, and then I have C, D, E, I probably don't want to spend time doing C, D, and E just for it to reset for me to do the whole problem again. So in that case, I would hit Help Me Solve, so then it'll stop my problem and reset it. I would want to do an example though. Let's say I do A, B, C, and I'm continuing getting it right. I don't want it to reset it, so I want it to continue letting me do that exact problem. I would choose view an example. So when you want to reset a problem, choose Help Me Solve. When you don't want to reset a problem, you want to continue on the same problem, do view an example. So if you get it wrong, like you can see, I got question 1. Let's go ahead and get it wrong automatically. Let's go here. I hit check answer. That's incorrect. And I got it wrong. I hit final check. I'm just going to get it wrong. Next question. Now, for this one, I'm able to hit similar question, and it's going to reset it. And so I didn't need to Help Me Solve. However, when I have one, which I don't think I have one on this particular homework. Let me see if I have an ABC, if there's several parts to it. No, there's just one on here. So if there's one that has several parts on the problem, that's when I would want to use a Help Me Solve, because that itself is going to reset the problem for me. Okay, so that's a Math Excel or Math Lab. It's called Math Excel in some circles, but this is Math Lab. So you have the orientation is just literally just, okay, this is what you push. It just shows you how to do Math Lab. And then homework 1 and homework 2. Now, if you noticed on all of these, they had Help Me Solves, but when you go to the quiz, the only difference of the quiz is that one, it's only going to be about 20 problems, maybe a little bit more, but approximately 20 problems. And you're going to see, you start test, you can take it as many times as you want, but you're going to see that there's no, oh, well, I take that back. There are sometimes Help Me Solves, but typically there are not Help Me Solve. So I guess they still do have these are enabled, though I apologize. I was thinking that typically there are not the Help Me Solves and view and examples on your quiz, but it looks like they are in allowing you some help. Unlimited tries, but the difference in the quiz is you don't have, so if I push this button, and I'm not pushing the correct button, guys, so don't think that this is the answer. The additive inverse of 0 is 0, but let's say I'm just saying this, anyway, and I keep going. I don't know how I'm doing until I hit submit. And when I hit submit, you can see, okay, I just did a couple problems, and I say, okay, submit quiz. Well, I didn't do all of it, I know, submit quiz. And then you can see I get some feedback. You see I got one right here, and this one wrong. Then you're able to look at the quiz, then you're able to redo the test, and you can say, okay, I want to review the test, and it allows you to look at everything, and it allows you to see, okay, I got this one right, I got this one wrong, and it allows you to actually look at the problems themselves. And then you can retake the quiz and do a little better if you would like. So the grades for my lab, I do not do anything for the grades at all. The grades come directly to Indiana Wesleyan University portal. So I don't do those grades. You just contact me, and they don't report until it's due, until it's done. So if the grades are wrong or or it's not porting or something like that, you can let me know at the end. All right, and so next week you'll have something similar. It won't have so much introduction. It'll be just on workshop 2. You can see we have 6 workshops, and then you can email me if you have any questions, if you need to set something up. I often tell people, if you get stuck on a problem and it's giving you trouble, email it to me. I can usually make a quick little video or a little quick PDF and send it to you. And you know, I do teach during the day until about 3 o'clock, so I can meet you afterwards. If you know my afternoons are decently flexible, it kind of depends. I have what other going on in the afternoon, but we can come up with something that I can meet. For sure, I meet Saturdays, and then other times we can meet during the week. All right, and those are of course by appointment only. If you need any other thing, please let me know and just email me. If I don't get back with you very, very immediately, then something's wrong with my email. I've been working with technology, and it keeps kicking my password out, and then I don't even get the emails at all, and I have to keep resetting it. So I'm working with them. So if you do not hear from me, try again, or I'll try to make sure. I do try to see if I don't have messages and try to resetting it. So I apologize if that's an issue. If it ever is an issue and you're trying to get a hold of me and then the due date comes, I'll change the due date for you, because that's not your fault that the technology had an issue with us. So if there's ever a technology issue or things like that, we're not going to let it get in the way of anything of your grade. Okay, feel free to please call me and via email and let me know if you need any help. Okay, thank you so much.